War had raged through all Aventasia. The alliance of humans, elves, and dwarves fought against the evil army of the shadows. The war had devastated the country for years upon years, and yet, no one gained the advantage. And so it was that the artifact could led by, and Nate Bonnet, who was supposed to spend the rest of his life at the side of an elven princess, who deserved a kingdom and all the riches in the world, who should stop wasting time talking about himself in the third person. Ah! Good, good. This is good. Although the ground is still getting closer. Part of the jetty. At least some of it survived the explosion. If I'm lucky, this will go all the way up to the island. But somehow I really doubt it will.
Hi, Nate. How's it going?
Good. For now. Could it be that your spell didn't quite work out the way you planned?
I did tell you there were certain risks involved.
Risks? What risks?
Now, djinn magic is a complicated affair. It's difficult to get the dose right, and when one hasn't done magic for a while, things can go a little bit wrong.
Like you killing me, for example?
Not intentionally.
No big thing. So, now that we have a little time to kill, why don't you tell me a little something about yourself?
Oh, right. Well, yes, I came into this world in an oasis in the Umzu Desert, and at that time, I was...
Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Definitely not the time to reminisce.
Then why did you ask?
I could use some help here, Benny.
Well, you did see what happened last time I cast a spell.
Time to make up for it, then. Now shake a leg.
Oh, I don't know. I might just end up making everything worse.
Let me see. I'm accompanying tons of boulders in a plummet to certain painful death. My death. So just how do you think you could make things any worse?
Worse? I could set the air on fire, or it could start smelling. Very bad.
Can't you just stop time? Or wings! Give me wings! How about that?
Oh, this is all terribly complicated. I really don't feel up to it today, Nate.
Benny!
Perhaps tomorrow? I really do need to think through what's happened today properly.
You get me out of the mess you got us into right now!
Please don't yell at me! I just can't take it anymore!
Benny! Ah! The state he's in, we can forget about miracles. I gotta find something easy, something even he thinks he can do. A flying carpet. Is that too much to ask?
I'm not talking to you.
Why, you... I'm sorry I criticized your work, Benny.
And?
And that I shook your lamp. And everything else. You meant well.
Well, all right then. I forgive you. What can I do for you?
Carpet!
A flying carpet. Shouldn't be too hard. Should I really dare? Am I really up to it?
Yes! What the heck? What happened here? No!
Welcome, Adventurer. I am the tutorial, guardian of gameplay. To move a character... Well done. If you now click on that bit... Use the lever, as this seemed locked. Now click... Excellent. The robot thinks the lever is working. But if that's so, then where is the problem? That hatch over there, left... The little chap seems to think there are advanced engine mechanics hidden behind there. Perhaps that's where... Click on the hatch again using the left mouse button. First left click will allow you to look. The second, why? Because after a player character has looked at something, it's quite simple. Right click when you want to look at something, left click in order to do whatever that character thinks is the next most sensible move. Is the machine working again? Left click on the lever. Appears to be a new problem. Better take a closer look at the engine. Oops, that wasn't very helpful. Great work. Items you pick up will go into your to open and close your inventory. Left-click the rucksack. To use an inventory item, left-click it and then left-click the object that you want. Use one of the gears in your inventory with the engine. Excellent. Now the second. Perfect. You'd better oil the engine. That should do it. Time to... You can examine objects in the inventory in more detail. Pick up the damaged figure and the toolbox. Then when you are in the inventory, right-click the toolbox in order to... Great! You found a few items in the toolbox. You can use these items on each other by initially left-clicking the first object, and then when you try to repair the figure in the inventory. Well done. Now place the figure back in its rightful place on the balcony of the castle and... Excellent. You are now ready. Now one last tip before I go. If you press the spacebar, good luck with your adventures in the Book of Unwritten.
I'm worried about you.
Oh, Mother.
What's wrong with you?
Everything's fine.
No, you don't look well at all. Positively rotund. It is unseemly for an elf princess to cope with her frustrations by comfort eating. If you carry on like this, you won't fit into your wedding dress.
I don't have any intentions of marrying anytime soon.
Oh, darling, we've been through that already. Prince Lalilos is going to be arriving next week. You will like him. He's charming and... Look, he's sent us a picture of himself and his sister.
Which of the two is the sister?
The elf nobility, unfortunately, has not got any unshaven Neanderthals to offer. You'll just have to get used to that.
I don't have the slightest interest in that person. Not anymore.
You are at the heart of the elf kingdom, in the castle of your family where you belong. No one here should be sad, tired, or fat. I only want what's best for you, Ivo.
Did you see that? She's locked me in. Yes, only what's best for me. She always says that. Have you seen this prince? A vain river elf who's only interested in topping up his tan. I'm to spend hundreds of years in the company of someone I don't love? Huh, not me. And how? She will try anything and everything. Nothing's more important to her than getting me married off. Ugh. When I was out there with the humans, it was the first time that I had the feeling I could determine my own destiny. Yes, it was dangerous. Doesn't that go with the territory? A life without risk, that is so... Oh, you don't understand. If I could, I would go right now. You want to stop me? Just like last time. I didn't want to tell Mother, but I've not been feeling too well lately, Cheap. I'd say the same thing, but we elves hardly ever get ill. Yeah, you've got a point there. I spent almost a year in the human world and they have some very strange ideas about personal hygiene. Well, I thought perhaps it's a curse. Oh, no, you won't. I'll take care of it myself. Mother would make a state occasion out of it. I don't know either, but I'm sure there's a medical book down in the library. No, rest is not what I need just now. I'll go down to the library and look up what's wrong with me, completely alone, just like a grown-up elf. I'm not going to be stopped, neither by locked doors nor by you. I've been sleeping badly of late, and sometimes I feel tired all day long. I've never been ill, but something isn't right. I hope I'll find the answer in the library. It may not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that I've climbed into the garden via the balcony, and it won't be the last. I'm just doing my morning exercises. I wasn't going to. Of course, I could just ignore him and climb down into the garden anyway. He would, however, make a beeline to Mother and tell on me, and who knows what the two of them would cook up for me next. We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflower... Apologies, I need a few of your seeds. Normally this bowl is full of fruit and nuts. Presumably Mother has decided I should be without such things whilst I am, as she says, positively rotund. Cheap, would it be possible for you to stop admiring yourself for 2 seconds and move over to stuffing your beak instead? Don't say I never look after you. An envoy from the Far East gave me this musical box years ago. Wherever I go, I always have its tune in my head. He's enjoying his food more than admiring his reflection. If he carries on like this, he'll need a larger mirror. A beautiful red flower. It was only put here a few days ago. Sometimes Mother orders a new plant that looks nice in my room. And then it's replaced and planted in the garden. Pearls, precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. All the stuff I have to wear at official functions. If it were up to Mother, I would have trunkfuls of this stuff, and a wing of the castle would be my wardrobe. She just can't understand why Pa and I aren't into this sort of thing. Pearls, precious stones. Goodness knows. Hey, withdrawal symptoms? I just need the music box a minute. You don't need to turn your head away from your beautiful reflection for 1 second. Come on. Shh. He's gone to sleep. It got dark and he's simply... No matter. I can now enjoy a few moments of peace. Since Nate left without saying so much as a word, Mother seized the opportunity to marry. So far, I've managed to frighten off every candidate successfully. But she's stuck. Let's go. As expected, no one here. My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is. The Biggest Plant Book of Aventasia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bonpland. Goldsmithing, masonry, and a book about carpentry. Like all books in this library, it's a guest present. The logic behind this must be, those elves, they have so many beautiful statues and items of wood. They'll be really interested in this. Why don't we present them with a book about it? What they don't realise, though, is that if we're interested in a subject, then we'll already know pretty much all there is to know about the matter, and the book's of no use to us whatsoever. Working with wood. There's a master whittler down in the valley. He carves animal figures so real that humans and dwarfs believe that they are This one's more about interiors, making fur. Plane the wood down by a pixie's thumb and saw the board. Who knows what that might be good for? Several books about... And what's this? Fishing for the... I haven't really got the time to sit and read a book, and if I had, it would... There must be a medical book for elves here somewhere. If I want to know something about plants, I can just ask... He knows everything about plants. Well... What have we got here, then? Aha! Ah! Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Ow! Be careful, if you please.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
Ill elf? So I look ill. What's wrong with me?
Take it easy, young one thing at a time.
Young one, I'm older than you.
And you look it too.
I do?
No, of course not, and I can also see no illness. But the mere fact that I've been fished out from the back of the shelf for the first time in centuries tells me that something is wrong.
I haven't been feeling too well recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus. But I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely certain, you must mix a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
Are you actually qualified to make a diagnosis? And why can you talk?
I am a magical medicine book. That actually serves as an answer to both of your questions.
I've never encountered a talking book before.
Of course not. I am the only talking book here. That's the problem. In the magical library in Seastone, all books can talk. Things really get cooking there, believe me.
I demand to know this instant what sort of illness I have.
Sometimes it's better not to know.
I can take it.
A placebo only works when one doesn't know that it is a placebo. Make the potion and then come back and drink it. Then we'll be sure.
All right, this potion, what goes in it?
It is very easy to make. You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
Oh, that sounds revolting.
It's medicine. It isn't supposed to taste nice.
And if I drink it, I'll be well again?
We will then at least know what is wrong with you.
This metis bush, where can I find one?
Haven't a clue. I'm just a book and have spent years sandwiched between
Thank you.
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they were planted there. They don't grow. I can't think of any use for a water lily, but a reed could come in handy. There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing. That That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content it looks anything. A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
The garden always looks fantastic.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a...
You have got green fingers.
Ah, that's just moss, my dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You tree...
The tree! Hey, Rex! Do you want to be...
Mother put me on...
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let me...
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She'd be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener. Get it?
What are you up to today then? Got much on?
Oh, the usual. You know, it never rains in the Elfborough, but the flowers need their water, so I water them every day.
Ah, the curse of good weather.
The weather isn't the only thing which isn't right. I've been here 30 years, and for 30 years we've had autumn.
Time passes differently in the Elfborough. Slower.
Well, that's why everyone grows to be ancient here, obviously. But if we had a bit of normal weather and the usual seasons, there'd be a lot more variety here.
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. He's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
I have to get on.
Yep, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there. Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
Look, I found this book in the library.
Woodcrafts? Why are you showing me that?
I thought it might interest you.
I don't like horror stories.
Horror stories?
Wood that has been clamped into a revolving monstrosity to be whittled down layer by layer to the core? What do you call that then?
Sorry, never looked at it like that.
Branches sawed off, boards nailed together, wood treated with...
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine, then you'd help me with that, wouldn't you?
Ill? You're an elf! Elves don't get ill!
But if I were...
Oh, come on, now tell me, how can I help you?
Do we have a metis bush in the garden here?
That bush over yonder.
But that fruit's red.
And what colour do you expect then?
Green. Are they only green when they're not ripe?
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
Pardon?
The metis bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if it thinks it's in danger, then they go green and very sour. Call it a defence mechanism.
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has nothing to be afraid of here.
That's right.
Do you know how I could get my hands on some honey?
Try the kitchens?
I prefer not to wander through the castle.
Ah, of course. Someone would tell your mother.
Would that beehive in the tree over there be of any help?
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can give you a nasty sting.
Couldn't they be distracted or tricked in some way?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use smoke that calms the bees. But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the bees keep their honey and they pollinate my flowers. That's how we've always done it.
I often see you fishing. Could you lend me your rod?
Of course, if you bring it back in one piece. What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod or that you'd ask me to collect a variety of mystical items in exchange for it.
Why? It's only a rod.
Thanks.
Well, everything needs to be complicated, you know.
There's something else. Have you found out what's wrong with the plant yet?
Nope, I haven't. Everything looks proper. Earth is moist and nutrient-rich. The sun is shining. Difficult case. I'd quite like to smoke my morning pipe now, but... first work, then play.
See you later.
See ya!
It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers. Normally they blossom in our good earth. Not to mention the power of arbor. Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive in. I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the only... A lovely spot, so long as the bees who have built their hive directly above the bench. I don't have any time to rest, and that's good. At last I've... This is a lettuce bush, just what I need. Only its fruit is red, not green. This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. I don't have a clue about fishing, but I'll try my luck. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand, somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing. I suspect that they always come... I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough. Or I could try to speed things up by learning more about fishing elsewhere. That leads up to the throne. Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst Pa leans against the tree. Perhaps I can help Arbor solve the problem with that flower. Giant beans, because of killer tomato. This plant reminds me of the one that Arbor's love lily. The love lily enters into an enduring relationship with another plant. If the partner plant dies, then the love lily does not. Mandrake should only... The tree of wrath bears fruit several times a year. These grapes of wrath are bad-tempered beasts that can lay whole areas to rack. Steel magnolias look like normal magnolias, but as some of the tough, they can be softened using tragic women's stories and The wood of intelligent apple trees is often used for the equally intelligent and beautiful. For a long time, botanists thought that it may be possible to find other intelligent fruit varieties. So far, the search has proved fruitless. Guard plants, Vigilia audriensis, belong to the oldest. They have been especially valued in times of famine as they do not require as much food as, for instance, dogs. Perhaps there are a few practical hints and tips. A lucrative season with a successful technique doesn't just depend on the type and it doesn't matter whether you jig, dip, toddle or feed. Wobblers, twisters, spinners, blinkers, poppers, jigs. I haven't the faintest idea what all that means. I presume my fishing talents are not quite advanced. A classic. Red herrings are fast. Pity. A classic. A classic. At last. Now I can tick the red herring off my list. The door can be opened easily from the outside. If it was up to me, it would... This flower was given to us by the fairies, just like the love lily down in the garden. I bet they belong together. I've got a flower here that could help you with your love lily.
And?
Yes, look. Look, do you know this flower?
Ha ha ha! You did well, girl.
It would appear so.
You snivelling, girl? You all right?
No. Yes. I don't know.
Well then, I think I've earned myself a little rest now.
pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. The smoke from Arbor's pipe seems to be calming the bees. This is my chance.
Hey now, you all right there?
Sorry, had to do it.
Well, I'm not happy about this destruction of nature. Not unless I get half of that there honey.
I don't need any more. The rest is for you.
Oh, that be good stuff. But that's enough. The bees need a bit too.
That's Arbor's little spade. He always leaves his stuff all over the garden, which of course... Isn't that just lovely? Two plants that have found... I just need to borrow your spade a moment, is that okay?
Of course. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
According to Arbor, the bush's fruit becomes green and sour if it feels afraid or threatened. This is a metis bush, just what I need. Only its fruit is red. A book about woodcrafts, sanding, cutting. According to Arbor, the bush's fruit... Look at this! You'll be forced to marry this terrible prince even though you don't know him. Ugh. Doesn't seem... You're having a good time.
What can I do for...
You shouldn't. It's not healthy.
No lungs? No problem.
Don't you think it's a bit weird and warped to smoke?
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
Do you...
Arr.
And bored.
Well, if you're bored...
Me? And Mother's scared that something might...
Well, of course something. And what's it called when things... Life. That's what you fall over, you get up, you laugh, you cry, you do daft things. Well, how can one enjoy the sunshine if it never rains?
About the potion,
Art.
what was that with the metis bush and the green fruit again?
If the bush gets scared, feels threatened or unwell, then its fruit will turn green and sour.
There's something... I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
Art, that I won't.
A handy smooth stone. Arbor's sheepdog. Arbor's pot, literally. I really shouldn't... it's only Earth. I should tell Mother how her daughter... The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out. I've got what I need, but this is so much fun. And perhaps I'll have a bit of luck catching other interesting things in the pond. A classic. The worms provide a great lure. I always have... A clap. The worms provide a... I always hang... The worms provide... I always hang... Perhaps I have enough knowledge to now understand the book. Right. Aha, oh, twice in a row, then... That was educational. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out. The worms provide... I always hang... A classic. The worms provide a I always... A class... A fishing hat, which not so long ago I thought was extremely hideous. But now... I am the master of all rods, the ruler of the river and the goddess of the water! And what's more, that's me and fishing done. I've reached my peak. I wonder if trees regard a carpenter as the bogeyman. It's not nice, but I'll have to find out. One can easily fell a tree with the help... Slish, slash! After this! Wow. It'll be all right. You'll see. The only thing I can say in my defence is that is what a weeping... Hey, there's a rainbow. Since the willow's branches are hanging down for some inexplicable reason, the sun is able to shine directly onto the waterfall again and is now producing a pretty rainbow. Nate once said that rainbows never touch the earth. Wilbur wouldn't believe him. Let's see who was right. A pot of gold, and no grumpy leprechaun protecting it. What a stroke of luck. A pot of gold will be accepted anywhere as payment. It's a bit less than a pile of filthy lucre, but a bit more than a heap of dough. There are many magical clothes in this world which strengthen the power. However, the rule of thumb is, the more you... The worms are happy and fat. The earth in the bonsai pot seems to have... I'm going to have to take a few more of your seeds, but I promise this is the last time. I used to look into the woods for days on end. Now I know. The times when the others were here in the elf burrow. Those were the best. The critter could never keep still when I was drawing him. He was always pulling faces and trying to make... Wilbur was so excited. He loves elves. He spent hours sitting with my father and listening to him talk about bygone... Complete idiot. I had my birthday during the few weeks that we spent living together here in the... That was a big deal for Will. He couldn't understand that the significance of birthdays tends to... He insisted on making me a present. He sat in the corner for days knitting... They're sparkling and glinting in the sunshine. They could actually come in handy. When Nate and the others lived here, Nate often made intimations. I don't know why, but I know Mother wasn't happy about it. She moved him to a garden, and Cheep Cheep was ordered never to leave my son. Water's the easiest ingredient to find. We have copious amounts of it here. That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion. About 1 spoon of honey. Thanks for the sacrifice, little fish. Yes, the stone could be quite a useful pestle. First, I need all the contents in a bowl. No fish in here. The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it becomes one of the largest. Swords of all the idiots. It's become less frequent over. There's a selection of cubes here. For a while, it was all the. A present from one of the northern kings. Strange folk up there. The men climb mountains and shout foul-mouthed things in dragon's language at the dragons. I think it's some kind of test of courage. A great example of the variety of our world. Some of the ideas Mother Nature has can be quite. This flower clearly is one of the more exotic. It comes from a country in the deep south. It's said that the flower of this plant used to be sent as a declaration of war, or if one wants. A few years ago, this dragon was causing a whole 40 brave. The strange thing was that a bit later, more adventurers came carrying. Hi.
Well?
We have a metis bush in the garden, but its fruit's red, not green.
Those will be useless. Red metis fruit are sweet. We need the sour green ones.
You would probably give.
Right. I was a complete idiot and actually volunteered. As I am a book about elf medicine, I didn't get much to do in Seastone. I thought to myself, hey, this is your chance to get...
Yeah, we elves don't get ill.
And more than that, you don't actually have much time for books. This is the
We don't have much use for books. We sing songs about times past, and many of us were there.
Then that's probably also the reason why so many elves...
What do you mean?
Allow me to elucidate. Over the years, the songs you elves sing will be changed and adapted, a little here, a little there, this, and who can prove otherwise? There are no other witnesses.
And if it's lupus?
Have you been bitten by a wolf of...
No.
Then it can't. No, I'm pretty sure it's something else. Now, that...
What are the
The green fruit of a metis bush. You have to put everything into a bowl with a bit of water and pound...
Thank you for...
That's what...
I've seen much here in... This is a metis bush, just what I need. Only its fruit is red, not green. Look at this! You'll be forced to marry the... Doesn't seem to... Do you need a couple of big fat worms to loosen the earth up for you?
No thanks, I've enough. I breed them in my pot.
And that's the sound of... The plant would survive, I'm sure, but at the moment... A book about woodcrafts. I don't really know much about reeds or pipes, but if I'm not mistaken, then those things are called pipe cleaners. Would you like a pipe cleaner for your pipe arbour?
No, and I would be most cheered if you didn't decapitate any more plants in my garden.
Oh, sorry. According to Arbor, the bush's fruit becomes I don't know what I could ask. Hi, Arbor.
What you got? Be that the heart of a master?
Yep, pulled it out.
But I've been trying for
Well, talent will...
that ain't be talent. Mappin'. Sooner or later, old Arbor will get...
This is a metis bush, only its fruit is... There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheap or... I, however, think that the People in Seastone believe that throwing gold coins into a well or pot... The Archmage says that the Sewage Guild started that rumour. If it were possible to hit fish with stone... I think I fished... I'm not going up there. Since Nate left without saying so much as so far I've managed a book about woodcrafts, sanding. One can almost see the edge of the wood through the telescope. Mother would never forgive me. Wilbur didn't know that autumn would last for years. Mother looked. No more water. No more water in the jug, but I don't need. No more water in the jug. I've nearly just missing the green fruit of the lettuce bush. Then I've nearly done it. Just missing. I hope he'll sleep a while longer. He's going to make a scene as soon as he wakes. Sometimes it's difficult to believe that some creatures in our world have developed. They look as if some. I already know it. Helmets. Each cube is significant and comes. It's said that unfortunately he. It's said that a ruler in the north wanted to build himself a unfortunately he died after only conquering one enemy when he refused. Why do so many people hate this flower? Perhaps. Now that explains why this flower is classified as a weapon in 24 countries. If the bush had a heart, it would have skipped a few beats. Thanks. Ugh, that fruit smells really sour. I'm pretty sure that there's never been anything so utterly revolting concocted in the Elf Burrow ever. Oh, I hope this is some kind of joke. I don't know much, but I do know that I'm not going to drink this potion until I've had another chat to the medicine book about it. I need to know which disease this potion's meant to be good for. Looks as if it's been pre-digested several times. Hi.
Well, what's up?
The potion's ready, but you don't seriously expect me to drink it, do you?
You must.
Cheap, I'm so... Yes, I know, but... This, medicine. Well, I did tell you that I wasn't feeling well, and the medicine book here thinks it could be something serious.
She has to drink it, the sour metis fruit, sweet honey and salty fish. That should give us an answer.
Oh, it looks
It is medicine, it's not... That's right, down to the last drop.
Not as bad as I was expecting. In actual fact, it's quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that.
Congratulations, Ivo. You are pregnant.
No. That is completely impossible. You must be wrong. Surely it's a misdiagnosis.
You are an elf and say that potion is quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that. That's raging hormones talking.
I don't have any hormones. Cheap, no. No, the book has made a mistake. I cannot be pregnant. I've never stood in the divine water with Nate on Midsummer's Night singing the Song of Life. Why? How do humans do it? They do what?
Elves and humans can have children together, but it's not possible without sex.
You see? We never had sex. At least not to my knowledge.
But the diagnosis is crystal clear.
Let's just pretend that I am pregnant. There must be some explanation, rational or otherwise.
If we discount the possibility that the child was conceived by natural means, which would certainly appear to be the case here, then that leaves us with just the unconventional conception methods. Did you, perhaps, make some kind of pact with a goblin regarding the child? Child in exchange for gold or a kingdom, for example?
No.
Has a god in the guise of a bull appeared to you in your dreams? Any angels been having a word with you?
No.
Have any stars fallen from the heavens recently?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Then that just leaves magic. Or a curse. But
I wish it was so cheap, but my feeling is that the book is right. I am pregnant. One thing's... I don't know either. Oh... I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure why. And as all other possibilities have been eliminated, then it must be a curse. That is fantastic! No, of course I didn't mean it like that, but that sounds like an adventure. Totally obvious what we need to do now. We ask Art. He's the wisest magician in the realm of man, and he's a friend. Oh, no, you don't. You remember who was meant to be looking after me so that nothing happened? Alistair's sure to have the answers. Only, how are we going to get there? Seastone... Oh, yeah, saying fly is all well and good. Are you going to teach me... No, we need a fast mode of transport. And their longbows can take out a fly's eye at 400 metres. And they will shoot if said fly should dare to set foot in... You don't by any chance know... That's exactly the problem. Mother chooses a new password every Oh, why don't you know the password? You know... Hey, know-it-all. Mother's mirror. It knows more than you. It must know the password. If we work as a team, we should be able to cast a little light on the matter cheap. After all, if it is a curse, then I'm the victim, not the... Well, yes, I know that. She'll blame us whatever happened. But it's best for us to have some answers rather than just presenting her the facts, don't you think? Transport and the password. Let's go. Hey, Cheap. Think... You've got an idea? A flight magazine? You've taken out a subscription? Yeah, all right. Hippogriff stud Aculeus in the Blue Mountains. A hippogriff? That could carry a pot of gold. Yes, I think you're right. A hippogriff costs a pot of gold. I have the pot... Oh, I realise it's too heavy. I won an arm wrestling contest against an orc warrior in Seastone with the help of a strength elixir. We could get some... I'm really... Are we friends again? Good. Well, an object that would make every wish come true. It'd be... Yes, I know, too much power for one person. That's why This... I know that I'm an elf princess. That's exactly the reason I should have something. Oh, I will find out what you're trying to... I've got... I can imagine the whole experience has made you hungry. We will get through this together, right? Oh, I realise... I won an arm wrestling contest against an orc warrior in Seastone with the help of a strength elixir. I'll be back... Hi.
Well... Indeed, some...
Oh, come on.
They could burn.
How do...
They are very similar to human pregnancies, only you are presumably in the sick...
And if I go into the world of humans to talk to the Archmage...
Then your pregnancy will go far. The consequences are difficult to predict. I am not aware of an...
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. If everything goes to plan, then I'll be back in...
That would be advisable. Pregnancy can play. It does not take a lot of imagination to work out what a turbo pregnancy in the...
Thank you for your help.
That's what I...
You're having a good time, I see.
What can I do for...
I don't need your spade.
Ah, that's great. And you've dug a lovely hole.
Ah,
Oh, what the heck. I'll plant...
Arbor,
Your mother giving you permission? Oh, she not gonna... But one has to do what one has to do.
oh, thank you, Arbor. And don't tell anyone I told.
Oh, he wouldn't dream. Just don't you go staying away too long now. You know, time out there runs much quicker than here in the woodland.
Of course. In the outside world, we elves age like humans. That's why...
Quite right.
Tell me,
Oh, don't know. Ask the bees pollinate the flowers. The flowers, very simple, but elves, humans and dwarves...
yeah. And also, our children don't grow in the...
I know.
Do you know how...
Do I look like a magician or...
Perhaps you saw Mother doing it sometime.
Many times. She tips water from 3 different vessels into the bowl, and then some kind of elf priestess magic.
I have to get on. Don't...
That I...
That's just what I need. I don't know how Cheep Cheep escaped the music box, but he does say he knows various mystical... Nothing for it. Have to talk to Pa. I'd better take the hat off. No need to complicate matters further.
Ivo, I thought that we'd agreed that you would stay in your room.
I'm no longer a little...
No? How did you get... Did you trick Cheep Cheep and then climb over the balcony? That sounds very grown up.
I'm
What are you, my...
pretty! I am pretty!
But of course you are. So you disobeyed.
I just left my room to do a bit of training.
Mm-hmm.
You said yourself I've put on a few pounds, and I'm not going to get rid of them by lying around on my bed all day.
Where does this sudden insight...
I can't keep asking myself what to do with my life. Perhaps marriage isn't...
It most certain. And if you train diligently, I'm sure Prince Lalilos will like you.
Of course.
I would love to help you, but I'm most... a kind of epidemic. See,
An epidemic?
it's strange. We're getting reports from the whole of the middle...
What do you mean?
The situation isn't clear. It appears as if some kind of... Do you remember the story of the Nothing? A big blackness.
Of course.
This time it is...
An epidemic in Seastone. Is it why? On the other hand, Wilbur and the Archmajor, and perhaps I can help them to fight the epidemic in exchange for them... I can blame Mother for a lot of things, but not... On the contrary, she does the same work as 3 people put together. This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl in the garden. No idea what it means. That's Mother's area. This symbol's on the bottom. Only priestesses are allowed to get water from the well. Up to now, my mother hasn't tried to make me into a priestess. If I'm lucky, she never... This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl in the garden. No idea what it means. This symbol's on the bottom. Pa doesn't like getting up early. He always says he needs... Hey, Pa, the day started ages ago.
What? Oh, Ivo, how's my favourite daughter?
I'm your only daughter.
Oh, that I had 100. You are and will remain something very special. The other 99 will be as well, though.
Pa, you're nuts. Isn't it a wonderful day today? Again.
Just as the caterpillars cough in the morning dew. Yet...
She locked me up like...
Have you argued?
She started it.
She...
And she only wants... How can it be best for me if she constantly criticises me and forces me to do...
She believes that this will help prepare...
I'd just like to decide for myself.
I know. Your mother just doesn't...
You are always... Doesn't she drive you mad?
Naturally.
Then why don't you tell her?
Does the gnu talk of spring when the shadows are tickling the...
I
I love her. It's just a... And if she doesn't change, then I will not... I love you both as you are.
Mother...
I d-
Is that your wish?
All I wish for...
Haha, so I'm not going to marry...
Unfortunately,
Oh.
you are an elf princess. You will... It's just when and who.
I wish you could convince Mother of that.
I fear her faith in your taste of men has been shaken a little since... She wants to prevent your heart being broken again. That's why...
Pa, would you...
I think that too much power can...
But you have great powers, and you've never used them.
I could have cured diseased woodlands with the artifact, cleaned... Then I might have chased away the lumberjacks.
But I could have helped a lot of humans. But...
You shouldn't worry too much.
You know.
Has a zebra got...
How can it have happened?
I don't know.
It is. I want to know.
Then look for the answer.
How can you be so...
Because I know that...
And if it...
Then it is not...
If you don't know what the pregnancy's all about, then
The fact that I don't know means that you did not... And if something does not conform to the laws of nature, no one knows more about these things.
we agree then.
Like snails munching... Only...
I know, but I'll work on that. Hypothetically, if Cheep Cheep had to transport...
You could ask me to give him the necessary strength. Which you have just done, have you not?
Really?
Of course. But the effect would not last long enough to transport you to, let's say, Seastone.
He doesn't need to do that. It's just a short distance.
All right. Bring me some sun.
I have a few sun...
Good. Keep...
That's it.
Just give Cheep Cheep these seeds to eat shortly before...
Thanks. Whatever you...
Oh, no! It was the opposite.
And what exactly do you mean by...
Listen to the wind in the willows and the mole and the...
Enlighten...
Evil-smelling, dancing the tango and fast are confusing...
That... I've got...
Goodbye.
See you later, Father. Father's changed the sunflower seeds. Well, can you feel anything? Now, don't exaggerate. Okay, here. Oh, I hope it works. But what's he going to be like when he's super cheap? He's got... Oh, that's overdoing it a bit. I thought you just wanted to deliver the pot of gold. You deserve it. It's really in there, is it? Why did the stud put it in there? Couldn't they have just let it... You mean it was in the box already? I'd love to have your... Oh well, at least it's pretty... Cheap blind purchase the hippogriff. His trust in the Aculeus stud is far greater than his mistrust. Relax, I'm on it. You've still got the receipt, haven't you, Cheap? Cheap? Didn't the hippogriff in the magazine look a bit different to this? Bigger, bit more griff and a bit less hippo? Is this the effect of the epidemic? Mother said it changed things. The little chap has enough strength to demolish a heavy wooden box. That's a pretty good sign. And even if this little lump of lard could take off with me on its back, the journey would be over as soon as we get to the border. Without the password, my mother's border watch will shoot us out of the sky. Hey, Cheap. Was something different in the... And everything was normal at the start. Intimidated? Once I've cast a spell on Mother's magical mirror in the garden, I'll ask it for today's password to get past, then it'll be off. I'll be back. Why not? Perhaps I'm in luck. It works. One of the symbols is glowing. Only priestesses are allowed to get water. Up to now, my mother hasn't tried to make me into a... Mother?
Yes, Ivadora.
Those symbols on the
First your insights concerning your wedding, and now an interest in this. The three symbols depict the three different forms that water takes. They are water that falls from the sky, water that springs from the earth, and water that is bathed by moonlight.
Oh. Do you really?
You aren't really fat.
Do I have to be perfect?
No one is perfect. But that once you are happy with yourself, then you become dissatisfaction can.
Why do you want?
Because I think.
And if I don't like,
Then you will learn.
why can't I fall in love first?
And what happens if you don't fall in love? You won't. Don't be childish, Ivor.
When?
Just. I fell in love with him instantly. He was the.
And if you hadn't loved him, or if perhaps
Then I would have married him anyway. It is the duty.
whether she wants it or not.
You didn't want to go to school either. Today you can play music, paint. Please, just trust me.
Do you know what can be done?
Done. It's a matter for humans.
How hard would it be for us to actually help solve a problem for once, instead of wait?
If Alistair needs my advice, he can ask me.
But
I'm not.
you told me earlier.
Not all water is the same. If it bubbles out of a spring, then it is spring water. Then it turns into stream water, perhaps into river water. The voice of water changes, its soul.
And if different forms of water are mixed together,
Then you can create water with powerful magical properties. But it's not as easy as you might imagine. Rain is water from the sky, but as soon as it lands in a puddle, then it becomes common.
that stuff in the moon well, that's water bathed by moonlight, isn't it?
Of course it is, my darling.
Could I take some of it?
It is holy water. We only use it for special occasions. What do you need it for?
I'd like to carry out a ritual. I need some water that has been bathed by the moonlight for it.
Really? What sort of ritual?
Well, I want to, well, it's a surprise.
I don't like surprises, especially not when it concerns magic rituals. What sort of ritual are you planning?
I want to become one with the cosmos and nature and, to see the future and the past. So do the things that you do.
But child, you'll need centuries of training for that. Only priestesses can use moonwell water for spiritual journeys.
About the moon,
What do you need it for?
I'm thirsty and I thought to myself, I've never tried moonwell water.
Well, keep thinking. This water is not intended for such profane use.
About the...
What do you need it for?
I need...
Really?
Well, the moon water's a particularly pure and clean water. I thought that it could form the basis of a beauty potion.
It is true that this water is purported to have healing powers.
I didn't want to trouble you with this, but then I thought, if I'm meant to be looking my best for the prince, then such a potion wouldn't do any harm.
Oh, absolutely. Do you have a vessel? May the moonwell water give you the help you need to become more beautiful, just as it has always helped me.
See you later.
Don't pull a face like a wilted willow, Ivo. Smile.
Right, now water that has been bathed in moonshine. That must mean the water that's come from the moon well. Aha! That's got the second symbol to glow. An all-knowing mirror. In the current situation, the only question is how to cast a spell over... You're having a good time. I need
A special sort of water?
Arbor, please help. I need water that's...
There, the waterfall. As much water as you want.
Oh, it's not that simple. That water's changed. I need...
You elves always like to make things complicated. You got a container? There you go. And don't start telling me that this is some kind of snot water or the like. This be tip-top quality groundwater.
Should work. Thank you. I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
That I won't.
Let's hope that Arbor's donation of water that spills from the earth will work. It hasn't really spilled from the earth, but it is groundwater, and it's never seen the sun. Now all the symbols are going. Hello? Are you there?
I'm always there.
I cast a spell over you single-handedly with no help.
You had help, you just didn't realise it.
No.
I'm the all-knowing seer, I'm telling you.
Are you really...
No, but it sounds better than I am the seer who saw more than any other being in the world.
I did so...
No, the water is just I see what happens in front of mirrors. To you...
Oh. So you live...
I can look through any reflective...
You do close your eyes. When it's the decent... Yes, understood. But if someone's undressing in front of their mirror or doing embarrassing things that no...
I can see into the furthest reaches of the world.
You saw me giving an imaginary harp...
I count that amongst the...
And Mother...
I wouldn't exactly describe it as asking. They know. They want me to give them information, and if I don't answer...
So you help them?
That is the question. Do I have an interest in supporting either one or the other?
So you'd pour oil onto the fire just because you want to watch...
I could, but mostly I restrict myself to watching. I love to see how things develop. I can't abide when things come to a standstill. That's when I'm always tempted to give someone a shove in the right direction.